Hi, this is Jim. I want to talk a little bit about what motivates people to write. And I think that behind every book, there's a story. Everyone who's ever taken the time to pour themselves out into a project as big as a book has a pretty good story to tell about what's motivated them to write that and what the outcomes have been for them. For some people, just seeing a bound book with a cover on it that looks professionally done is enough to meet their goals. Other people are in it to saturate a market and make a lot of money. Other people are in it because they want to express themselves, or they want to feel useful. Everyone has a different motivation for getting involved in writing, and I think it's good for you. If you want to finish something that's as long as a book, you need to think and introspect a little bit about why you're doing it. I got into book writing almost on a dare. I was recovering from back surgery and I wanted to build a Stirling engine, and I wanted to do it without spending $400 on a fancy kit, but I did want one that would run from the heat of my hand. And so as I was laying around the house for 2 or 3 months, I was communicating with these different people who manufactured and sold these Stirling engine kits. And one of these guys said, well, if you can find a way to build a Stirling engine without using a machine shop, and if you can do it for under $25 with just normal household tools, he says, I'll print your book. Well, that was enough of a challenge for me. I had the time and I had enough interest in engineering to dive into that, and I started doing research. And it took me several years, but I finally did it. I was able to build a heat-of-the-hand Stirling engine using normal household tools, and I had a book. And by this time, self-publishing had come about. Amazon had purchased the company called BookSurge, and I decided that if there was an 800-pound gorilla in the fight, I wanted him on my side. So I went with CreateSpace. The cash offer that the guy made me, that he wanted to publish my book for me, was $5,000. I evaluated the market and I set the value of my manuscript at about $100,000. And so I decided to venture off on my own and see if I could beat that $5,000 offer. And I did. By self-publishing, I haven't made $100,000 yet, but I've probably made about half that. And it's been a wonderful experience. And that first book being published, probably about 5 years ago, and watching those sales, one sale a month, then it was a sale a week, and then it was 3 times a week, and then it was 3 times a day. And then seeing sometimes when I would sell 100 books in a day, it was just amazing. I did not get into writing to see that happen. I got into writing because I just accepted that challenge and that engineering, and it was kind of on my bucket list to get a book out there. I've recorded a CD, and I've written magazine articles, I've advanced in my career professionally, and I wanted to have a book on the shelf, and I did that. And then the fan base started to develop, and I realized there was more books to write and there was more opportunities in Stirling engines. And so now I have 4 books on Stirling engines, and one of those books frequently gets used as a textbook in different college and technical schools and some high schools. So that's been a great feather in the cap too. So now my motivation is a little bit different, and it kind of morphs, because once you start making money as an author, you kind of want to keep that money coming. So in my case, I've used my proceeds from my book sales to buy a yacht, and of course that doesn't keep for free, so I have to keep some money coming in to pay for the maintenance and pay for the mortgage. And so it's been interesting to see how my motivation has changed. I'm no longer just pouring my heart into there. I'm also pouring my heart in a way that I think is going to meet the market. So this particular book that I'm writing about in this blog, or writing through the process of this blog, is about how I write and how I promote and how I sell my books and how I've basically got a small income now off of this process. And I know that the market right now is saturated with lots of people doing that. Some of them are very successful. Some of them are people who have made $5 selling a book, and so now they think they know everything about it, and so they're writing a book about how they write books. So I'm kind of in a flooded market with this, I know, but I'm back to doing this because this is a book I want to write. This is something I know I can say. These are questions that I get every time someone finds out I'm an author. I get questions about how I write, how I publish, how I make money, and I've decided it's time to put that into a book. And so the thinking out loud process is going to happen right here in front of the camera, and you're going to be able to benefit from that if you're a potential author and publisher yourself. Self-publishing is not for everyone. For some people, it's just a launching pad. They start with self-publishing and then they get picked up by a bigger company. So there's money to be made, and it's possible to do it. There's also a great sense of personal accomplishment just in getting a book published. So there's lots of different motivations for writing. And as an author, as a writer, I've been very rewarded for my work on both scales. It's nice to get paid for it, but it's also nice to just to see those books, to go into a bookstore or to go to a website or to do a Google search and just to see your work out there and see the people that are buying it, see the people are using it, and they get that feedback and find it useful. Some of my books are very highly rated. Get lots of 4 and 5-star reviews on some of my books. Some of them not so much, but we'll talk more about that in future episodes. So stay tuned. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy finding your motivation for writing. Please like the video and follow me on social media. I look forward to building an audience through this process.